Hi everybody, today I'm going to take a look at something really kind of different from what I usually post about, and that's to do some maintenance work on this machine and to also show you something that you'll find as a Google question: how to remove the tables, which a lot of people ask in forums, but you never find the direct answer. Usually it ends with, oh, it was easy. So actually it is easy if you know the secret, and I'm going to show you the secret. Well, actually it's simple, but somebody has to show you, so let's go check it out. Right here are the screws which hold the gib. That's a piece of metal that sits inside the way and basically clamps the whole mechanism together. I've already loosened these up. These are locking screws. This is a 3mm. And I'm going to hold onto the table because when I loosen these up, the whole thing is going to want to wobble around, and I'm going to come around and make sure I have a hold on this. It's not going to drop on my foot. And if these were tight, mine are loose because I've been messing with this. The screws themselves may actually suddenly spin partially off, but that's normal. So I'm just backing these up to loosen this up. And voila, it's loose. Now we have to remove the gib. There's the gib, it's that little piece up there. Now, if you try and get it out with pair of pliers or something, there's just nothing to grab here. So what I've usually done in the past is I've actually used a chisel, a junk chisel. We'll just manage to grab this. The other thing you can do is to try running this up and down, putting a little pressure on it, loosening these guys up a little more. They're pretty much loose, they're not really doing anything. Little table around. And if I wiggle the table around, this guy's already kind of loose, and there we go. We got a grab on it. And with that, we can pull it out with our fingers. Just pull it out like that. And at this point, we can lift the table up. It's just a matter of taking this and wiggling it around a bit, and off it comes. This pin right here sits on there, and that's what gives the table its adjustment. So when we put this back together, we line this up back with this. It's kind of just the reverse of the process here. You may have to look around the edge of the machine, make sure you lock the wheels, lock it up, you get the idea. So I cleaned this up. I used a little bit of dry lube on it. I sprayed that up and down to try and keep this running a little bit easier and cleaner, and that was about it. I also know, because I'm adjusting everything to the outfeed table, that I need to shim this up about 4 thousandths, and I know that I need to shim up this side of the table by about 0.20, which is quite a bit. I cut up a soda can. The material here is about 0.4 thick, so I folded this up to about 0.20 or 0.21 is what it measured. That only brought up this side of the table by 0.10. So it's kind of obvious that whatever I need to do to shim this up, it needs to be about double the thickness I need to raise it up. And also think about top and bottom. If the tail is low, and that's the case of my table, I need to put shims down on the bottom here to raise the tail up, and probably do less shimming here. It's a very interesting balancing act. And I also found that what helped me a lot was putting another shim down on the bottom side here that, let's see, I got 0.8. That also helped level this side to side and to bring the tail up. So when I use the real shim stock that I bought here, this is steel, I'm probably going to set this up with more on the bottom here and a little less on the top, and this corner is going to go by itself. Now, it'd be great if I could take this machine over to a machine shop and have them recut this and cut this, or cut the back actually, I should say, about 0.20 to bring it down as opposed to shimming the front up. But it's easier to do this, it's simpler to do this. Only if this really becomes a problem with these shims working loose or anything would I really consider doing something like that. Also, of course, is a surface gauge indicator that I have set up. And there were a couple of high spots here, and what I did to level them up was I took a 1, 2, 3 block, wrapped it with some sandpaper, I think 220, and I used this to sand down 1 or 2 high spots. There was a high spot here in the table in the middle that was high by about 2,000, so now that is dead flat. It actually is pretty easy to get the table off if you know the little secret to it. And obviously, once you remount the table, you've got the activator in here clamped in or grabbing the pin, then you slide the gib back in, tighten everything up. As far as tightening it's concerned, I'd go finger tight on each of them and then back it off about 1/6. What you don't want is for this whole thing to be loose. You want it to be snug, but then be able to go up and down. Now, I don't know how much you adjust your joiner up and down. I probably do it to a certain extent. It's like, do I want to take off a 32nd or a 64th? So my adjustments on there are fine. If you're taking bigger adjustments, you probably want this slightly looser, but I kept mine fairly snug. Now, there's one big myth out there, and that's somehow that adjusting the gibs can adjust the height or parallelism of the table. And let's put it this way, if your gibs are so loose that tightening them made an adjustment of more than 1 or 2 thousandths, they're too loose. They shouldn't be that loose in the first place. They should be snug and allow the table to move up and down as freely as possible or as freely as you need and still be snug. If you've got any wobble in it, the tool's never going to work right because it's got play and it's not supposed to have play. And of course, the nature of these things is to take up that play. So there you go.